Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It is 7. It is 7 p.m. Correct? It's 7. All right. Cool. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, no, I'm jamming up. Mommy, let me call you back. Later. Right. Take a day. With God confidence. God, I'll call you back. Okay. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome. It's gonna be a soft night for me tonight. Yeah, it should be a smooth night. It was a long day. I hope you guys had a good day. And you know when I have on my scarf is because my hair ain't done yet. And it's about to be done. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. And congrats on your win. Congrats on your win. I hope you had a good day today. Right now, my hair is a hot mess. You're welcome. It'll be a nice, relaxing conversation today, man. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Oh my god. I hope everybody day was really, really good. As you guys could tell, I'm not hype tonight. No, I'm not hype. I'm very calm tonight and I'm in my calm spirit tonight. Just chilling, just chilling, enjoying the vibe. I feel like a little transition is happening. When that happens, it just puts you in this place of calmness. And I'm trying to enjoy that space because normally I am hype. But I'm just enjoying this calmness. But it was a beautiful day in London today, man. Did it rain? Yes, it did rain tonight, but London better. Good night, Brent. Good night. It was nice. Just happy that heat wave is over. How was everybody in Trinidad? I know there was supposed to be a storm that was supposed to pass through Trinidad. I don't know. I think it didn't hit from what I was reading on Facebook and Instagram. I think it didn't hit. Not sure, but I hope you guys are safe. Hope you guys are safe. I like to keep that heat because I cannot deal with another heat wave here in England. This is like Manhattan heat wave, stagnant. Hi Kim, welcome Kim. So did it come? Like did you guys get the storm? Did you guys get it? Or because then I need to know if I could travel or not. Like I don't want weather um disrupting my travels. Good night, Miss Evelyn. Good night. Because most times what happens is that we tend to, oh, it passed already. Okay, good man. I ain't worried now. I ain't scared. Now I could have all my plans. I could keep all my plans now. I could keep all my travel plans. But normally what happens is that when the weather in Trinidad and the US, the UK tend to get the winds or get the weather. So good night, good night. Good night, Amika. All right, guys. So tonight will just be a simple, cool night. If you missed, just chill, relax, learn something, and take it in. So you know how I start my show. We are 4 minutes in. You know I start my show. So here's the intro. I'll see you guys back in a few.
our sponsors: Torque Fightins, Funky Fat Cosmetics, Sincerely Her Story, Bella Dynamite Accessories, Ebenezer Real Estate Services Limited, and Utopia Natural Face and Body. For more information about our sponsors, check our Facebook and Instagram at Sincerely Her Story. This is a live streaming of A Fresh Twist Co. with JC and Friends Season 4.
Oh, hey, welcome back. Sorry, Elliot. You see that intro song? That intro song does always have me dancing. Welcome to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you guys for tuning in so much tonight. It is a pleasure having you, and I hope I can be a good host to you tonight and inform you on some beautiful topics tonight. But welcome to another episode of A Fresh Twist. I don't know if you guys noticed that this whole season I've been talking about beauty and I bring people on to talk about how to take care of yourself and stuff like that. But I think beauty can have so many different meanings to a person. And I know personally, like beauty meant what beauty meant for me in my late teens and my early 20s. It sure as hell don't mean the same thing right now. And that's fine. Being honest here, and I'll give you guys a little insight about me. I honestly struggled with accepting being beautiful, being told as beautiful, and seeing beauty, and even knowing what that meant to me or identifying what that meant for me. And that kind of like, it, I didn't, it was ended. I say I end that struggle in my late 20s. Yes, I said it, my late 20s. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking your time to figure out what beauty means to you or even accepting beauty for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't realize how much it affected me until I started paying attention to myself and how I felt. And then that's when I started to just say, like, you know what? No, I'm accepting myself for who I am and how I look. Nobody's going to define that for me. But it was not until, like I said, my late 20s. So it don't matter what age it is. If you now find something that you identify with and say that's beautiful and you want to accept that, then do you, boo boo? But I saw how destructive it was. And um, I saw how not believing I was beautiful was just harming me. And I'm not just talking about the physical looks, because, all right, I have to confess something here. I have accepted that I'm a late bloomer. What I mean by that is I have now started to gain weight in places I didn't even know I could gain weight. I was always a little slim, a little slim, thin. I had a little curves and stuff, but I was a little slim thing. And now I getting goodies. So, back then I had to deal with people calling me thin or like, oh gosh, yeah, eating nothing and you need to eat more. That time I go into everybody's house eating. I eaten by everybody, but I just couldn't gain weight. And I remember one time I was working, and one of my coworkers came down the stairs and she saw me and she saw my sister and she literally was like, look how thin you is. Like, you need to eat more. You need to eat more. And I was just like, listen, well, I wanted to say the B word. I was like, listen, lady, I eat everything, but this is just how my genes are set up. Like, that's just how it is. And there's nothing I could do about that. And having people constantly criticize my size it did affect me in accepting that I was beautiful, because I was in an area, I was in a country or a state, let me say that. I was in a state where being thick and having a big booty and big boobs and all these different things was classified as beauty. But here I am wearing 00 to a size, well, at that time I probably was a size 4, but I was 0 to a size 4. And I wasn't considered beauty. I just had the face, I guess, but everything else on my personality, they wouldn't see that. They would just see like the skinny girl. So I saw how destructive that was, because I always felt singled out. And good night to everybody that just tuned in, everybody that just logged in. Good night, and welcome to this podcast. And I really had to just be like, you know what, forget all these people, and started to really start loving me. And I had to figure out what beauty was for me. But we also have to remember that physical beauty has always been a cultural obsession. People will judge you based on just on that, and they will make their assumptions on just how you look. And and there are other things. There are so many other reasons as to why we keep from truly accepting the best gift in the world, which is ourselves. There are so many other reasons. But for a woman, being called beautiful is a very, very powerful thing. Listen, I knew when I was not so much accepting that I was beautiful, hearing somebody say, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful," I used to be like, you know, gas me up. But I didn't understand the meaning as to why somebody will tell me that I was beautiful. You know, like let's call it the cat calls and the little hiss and all these different things. I didn't understand the meaning of it. So I will accept somebody hissing at me or sooting at me and thinking that I'm on top of the world. And I know there are some people that if they don't get cat calls, they just question themselves like, shit, am I even looking good? Am I what, I'm not attractive enough? Or you start questioning your own self and your beauty, because you really haven't identified what beauty is for you. You expect somebody else to kind of like, you're kind of dependent on somebody else to identify what that is for you. Right. And so many of us struggle with that, but we don't realize that when you don't exactly need validation, when you don't accept your beauty, or you don't know what it means to you, or you cannot define it for yourself, so many people get to take advantage of you. For example, some people use like they would just, we have a saying in Trinidad, you will be like, oh my God, that man, you're telling me something because they just want to chain up my head. And most of the times that's what it is. Sometimes you get gas up. Guys tend to like gas me up and tell me like, yeah, you're real beautiful and you're real pretty, and you they're like a little kimono, like and you make yourself very easy and accessible to somebody taking advantage of you. And I think we had a lot of that, especially in the community that I grew up in. A lot of people did that, especially older men. They would see these young girls who really can't identify what beauty is for them and have certain standards for themselves. And they will accept an older guy telling them this and just being vulnerable to them and being taken advantage of. Another thing too, with not accepting your beauty and accepting that you're a beautiful person, um, people tend to try and control how you see yourself. I know I have experience where people will be like, "Oh, look at you, you're so beautiful, but you have to behave like this because you're so beautiful, and you have to do this because you're so beautiful." And it was literally trying to change who I thought I was, because they wanted me to be who they wanted me to be, or to, and that was just, I think that was so unfair, because that's advantage. And then on top of all of that, when somebody do that to you and they can try to control you in that aspect, and you see what they identify as beautiful and it doesn't match up to you, you start questioning your own worth. You start questioning your own self. Like, wait, you telling me to look at myself in the mirror because I'm so beautiful and I should be acting like this, but then you're identifying with something else as beautiful. We don't look the same. But we have to understand that when you cannot identify that for yourself, you are just open to anybody taking advantage of you and trying to define that for yourself, for you. Being manipulative. I didn't want to use that word, but I'll use that word because that's what it is. So, but identifying and defining what beauty means to you gives you the power to decide what you are willing to accept or not. Like now, if anybody decides to do a cat call at me, I don't even turn my head. Like, who you? First of all, that's not my name. And look, I am very bougie, as it is tell all my friends. I am very bougie. So who the hell are you to even try to hiss and whistle at me? I'm not a bird. I'm not a bird. You can come to me. That's it. That's how I accept myself. Like, I now know that my beauty is not just something that you could hiss and whistle at. You have to come to me now. Like, come up there. But when you do that, you set a standard as to what you're willing to accept or what you're not willing to accept. And you show people how, by you accepting your beauty and what is beautiful to you, you show people how to treat you. That's a big thing, because even in relationships, if you don't see yourself as beautiful and you don't feel beautiful, what tends to happen is that person see that and they could really tell you whatever they want to tell you and you'll believe it. And that goes for the opposite way. They could just continue breaking you down because you really don't know what beauty means to you. So you don't have that standard for yourself. So they will constantly just keep breaking you down because you're already there. So accepting beauty, you show people how to treat you. You show people how to talk to you. Like, don't hiss at me. Don't catcall me. Don't do any of those things. Get yourself together and come again. So by owning that, you show people how to talk to you, and you show people how to respect you, because people know, like, oh my god, she's well put together, or he is well put together. I can't just go over to him and be on some bull. Sorry, I was gonna curse, but I can't be on some bull crap. I have to get myself together because that person actually loved themselves and they identify themselves as beautiful, and it shows. Period. Right? But I hope you guys learned something. Just take that power back. Take that power back. It takes time. It really do, but you have to find that for you. You have to really dig deep and ask the necessary questions, so that you could say, okay, no, this is what is beautiful to me, and I'm standing in that, and I'm going to be that. I'm going to be just that. So, yeah, find it, identify it, and make it yours, baby. But let's get into this. Let's get into this episode. So tonight, I had so many people reaching out to me about the last episode, which is called the Beauty is in the Eyes of the Beholder, and that's the interview I did with 8 women, and I asked them what beauty means to them and how they identified with that. And I think people just wanted it because it was just so moving and inspirational. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do much talking tonight. I'm going to let you guys enjoy this, because I know I listened to it again and it just inspired me all over again. It just really, really inspired me all over again. And I want that. I want that tonight. I want you guys to really have your pen and paper tonight and try to dig deep and do the work and figure out what beauty is for you. These ladies, some things like the saying, if you like it and you want to try it, baby, try it. Try it. I see this smile, this happiness. Like, I want you guys to have this confidence, so that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you are absolutely fine and happy with that. So these ladies here are to inspire you guys. I hope you enjoy it. And just do the work tonight. Do the work, do the work, do the work. All right, so this is where I'm going to come off and I'm going to let these ladies talk to you. So see you guys in a bit.
Yes, I think I'm beautiful. I think I'm beautiful because I believe that beauty comes from the heart, and I think my heart is beautiful.
Yes, I believe that I'm beautiful. The reason that I believe that I'm beautiful is my resiliency of spirit, being very, very intentional, continuing to be a light in this world, to be nice to people, just to put more positive energy out into this world because it definitely needs it.
Yes, I am beautiful not only because I'm beautiful on the outside, but I have a beautiful character. And to me, that's what matters. I'm kind, I'm generous. All of those characteristics makes me beautiful.
I consider myself to be more interesting to look at, not necessarily beautiful. My head, I think beautiful is more like a beauty queen thing. I don't know the physical aspects of whatever beautiful means. I think I'm interesting to look at.
Yes, absolutely. I know I'm beautiful. Internal factors, just being empathetic, understanding. That's what beauty is character.
Yes, I think I'm beautiful. I think I'm beautiful because I'm unique, and I don't think there is like another person out there in the world that looks like me or has my experience.
Yes, I do believe that I'm beautiful. I feel as though I possess both the physical and the spiritual attributes of a person who is truly beautiful.
Yes, I think I'm beautiful to look at, and also to generate what I have inside to help others to better their way of life in whatever way I can help them.
In my opinion, beauty is not just how you look. I think it's a lot more than that. It can be personality, the way you think, the way you do things, or why you do things. I don't think that it's just somebody's face.
Beauty to me is pureness in spirit and soul. Usually what that feels like to me is positive, infectious energy to be around.
Beauty to me is skin deep. So someone's persona, that's beauty to me, not what I see on the outside.
Beauty is being comfortable in yourself, being able to truly express you and not being arrogant or mean about it, but being confident and carrying yourself in a particular way that lets people know that, hey, look at me, I'm cool, I hip, I'm happening, without being rude or aggressive about it.
Beauty is character. Beauty is the ability to take life and the experiences you have as lessons and grow from it. Being able to take the ugly and still pursue compassion and still pursue positivity. I think beautiful is just like a constant, consistent, revolving door of doing what's right, what's positive, and what's best for you.
Beauty is internal, external. Of course, there's the physical aspect of beauty, but there's also the inner beauty. In my personal opinion, makes you really beautiful.
I think beauty is the external and the internal aspects of an individual that makes them attractive.
For me, it have outward beauty and there's the inward beauty. The outward beauty is facial beauty, structure, appearance, a well-groomed, good to look at. And the inward beauty is just basically a great personality, good mindset, character, and how they carry themselves.
In my daily life, beauty is important, but it's not something I think about too hard or intentionally do. For me, I associate beauty with my feelings. I try to incorporate beauty in my daily life by taking care of myself.
Beauty is extremely important in my everyday life. I find beauty in life itself. And what I mean by that is I find beauty in this journey that I'm on. I find beauty in this place that I'm in. I find beauty in the people that I surround myself with, in the new experiences I seek out. Beauty is really what keeps me motivated to continue through life.
Beauty on a day-to-day basis is important to me. Not really what I look like, because it's a hit or miss. Like, some days I want to get dolled up, some days I don't. But I don't think that's what makes me beautiful. But as far as like how I carry myself is what makes me beautiful. So that's important to me every single day, to be kind, to be generous.
It is a bit important to me because I sell jewelry, because I literally try to sell confidence to women. Beauty is very important to me, so I'm not overly particular, but I like to look a particular way. I like to dress a particular way that exudes confidence, that exudes being comfortable in your own skin, that's looking nice, for want of a better word. So it is very important to me in my daily life, yes.
Very important. Now that I think about it, I prioritize it a lot. And I always try to better myself with truth. Truth is also beauty. Always try to be true to myself, take accountability for my mistakes, and help others. Honestly, as cliche as it sounds, that's my genetic makeup.
All the time, you gotta look the part. Being a mom, you're busy, but you're still a professional. Dress like one. You have to present yourself like one, so you could be taken serious in this industry.
I am constantly surrounded by beauty. There's always beauty in my environment. There's the beach, there's the sky, there's animals, and I think when you surround yourself with beautiful things, you can't help but feel beautiful. And then when you feel beautiful, all you do is radiate beauty. So I think that beauty, especially that, I do art, beauty is an integral part of my existence.
Beauty is important in my daily life because it helps generate a very positive outlook to the younger individuals as well as older individuals, because the way a person carry themselves and the things that they do, it helps outward and inward beauty. It shows that person is capable of helping someone else.
When I hear beauty is skin deep, the first thing that comes to mind is like judging a book by its cover. It makes me feel like it's something that is very superficial.
When I hear those words, the first two things that pop up is temporary and deceptive. The reason it's temporary is if it's skin deep, we are all living humans, so we will deteriorate. So your physical standards, physical attributes, those things are going to change. I just feel like it's something that's very transient, and therefore people shouldn't put that much weight to it. The reason why I think skin deep beauty is deceptive, there is this belief sometimes that if somebody is physically beautiful, that they are also beautiful on the inside, which I think is a very dangerous thing, because I've had my share of experiences with people with physical beauty that turned out to be very rotten on the inside.
Beauty is skin deep. To me, when I hear that, it doesn't matter like what you look like on the outside. It matters what's on the inside. But again, like how you carry yourself. How kind are you to someone during the day? How sympathetic are you to that person? Beauty is very, very much skin deep for me.
Well, I believe it means that beauty is more about your character and your personality, how you treat others, exclusive of how you look on the outside, basically.
We often see people who take beauty with artificial hair, nails, and makeup and fashion brands. They're still miserable. They still have this dark cloud over them. It being skin deep is what's going on the inside. And that's how you get that glow. You either have a glow or you're dull.
Beauty skin deep, it's about loving yourself. To me personally, when I hear that beauty skin deep is, how do you feel about yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you think you're beautiful? 'Cause that's where it comes from. It shines from the inner you.
When I hear someone says that beauty is skin deep, it's like they're suggesting that beauty is something just superficial, it's just shallow, but it isn't. It's more than skin deep, it's an aura. It's not just what is presented on the outside. So I don't think that beauty is just skin deep. Beauty is much more than just something on the surface.
To me, I think they're looking at the inside of the person and not really the outside. Again, the things that they generate from the inside out, the things that they do to help others, how to actually handle situations in a professional way, in a gentle way, in a comforting way. I think that is what beauty skin deep mean to me personally.
I don't think there's only one person I think is the most beautiful. Earlier I said that I think beauty comes from the heart. It's associated to like people's intentions. I think the most beautiful collective group of people in my life would be my family, and they all have amazing hearts and care for one another. I think they're the most beautiful people.
In my country, I see my mother and actually my second mother as my definition of beauty. It's my mother, Malan. The reason I think that she's beautiful is regardless of all of her experiences, good or bad, she always finds a way to stay true to herself and to continue being good energy regardless of what she's going through. The reason why I believe my second mom, Auntie Beverly, to be beautiful is the endless light that she always seems to have inside of her, regardless of what she experienced. My aunt is a very special person to me and a special person to a lot of other people because of her selflessness of heart and spirit. She is a light that is always shining and is always ready to just lend that light to someone else.
In my state, not just one set person, but I'm a very strong believer that covered beauty is the best beauty as far as like me being Muslim and us not walking around half naked and being covered. So all covered women are beautiful.
I'll go with Wendy Fitzwilliam. That woman has an aura about her when she enters a room. I met her in a bakery and it was like, my God, she was just so graceful and polite and gorgeous. I kept staring at her and the woman is asking me, you're ready to order, ma'am? I was just taken away, so I'll say Wendy Fitzwilliam, yes.
No, because we are all beautiful in our own way. You could be beautiful because of multiple things. So I think that we all have our own sense of beauty. A lot of us just haven't found it yet or have the courage to even dig deep enough, but we're all beautiful. I believe my people are the most beautiful collectively.
In the Yemeni culture, there are a lot of beautiful women that we don't get to see their talents or their skills because of the culture. But personally, to me, if I had to pick one beautiful person, it would be my mother. She's Yemenis, and I think she's beautiful. She made me, so yeah.
The most beautiful person in Trinidad and Tobago will have to be my mother. She's loving, she's strong, she is independent, and she inspires me every day to continue and to be a better version of myself. And I think when the beauty in someone can inspire and bring out the best in you, that is true beauty. So my mother, the most beautiful, blessed woman in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's a hard one. Myself. Because I think I am the most beautiful person in my country because of the things I do, I try to help others with, the things I'm working on to help others also get in situations for kids, adults, even the elderly, to make them have a better way of life. I think I'm the most beautiful person in my country.
Definitely. I think the one gender that worries more is usually women, and the other that doesn't usually worry as much is men.
Absolutely. I feel like default women care more about beauty because men are not limited by beauty. What a man looks like physically bears less impact over their ability to do things in life. So for instance, as a woman, you are constantly thinking that you have to look attractive regardless of how qualified you are for something, how perfect you are for a job or something like that. You always have to look attractive just to be able to get into the room or to be taken seriously.
Yeah, women and men do, because like men will sit here and spend like thousands and thousands dollars on Gucci this and Prada this and a big iced out chain, and they worry about those type of things. Women take it to the extreme as far as like their physical appearance and changing physically how they look, whether it's real or not.
Yes, females tend to worry more about it because for some reason we base how we look on men's response to us. For some reason, is like, you're not dressing for you, you're not trying to look good for you, you're trying to look good for another gender, trying to win another gender, you're trying to compete with other females for another gender. So yes, I think females put a lot of emphasis on how they look and how beautiful they are.
No, I think that beauty can be in the eye of the beholder. So I believe that women search for beauty in order to be pursued, and men just like an opposite. Like men look for beauty for their own reasons, and women define beauty and look for beauty for their own reasons. But it's usually like a yin yang. It all works together. I don't think that one cares more about the other. However, I believe that women they focus more on external beauty, and the man who's going to marry the woman is focused on her inside.
No, I don't. I don't think one gender worries about beauty over another. No, I think it's a preference. I mean, there's a lot of men who worry about beauty of themselves and they take care of themselves. And there's a lot of women who take care of themselves just equally. So no, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I feel like females place a greater value in the physical aspect of beauty, their appearance and external features, whereas males tend not to really pay that much attention to it. And I believe that stems from a cultural belief that women should look and dress and act a certain way to maintain their beauty, whereas males get a little bit more free way to look as they please. So I do believe that females tend to put a greater value on beauty than males.
Yes, I really do think so, because it shows at times when you're around individuals, maybe those you know and those you don't know, and how they react to that individual, it shows that they're really favoring one over the other, which I find that should not be, to be honest.
It's your personal choice.
My views on plastic surgery is enjoy yourself. There is a lot of ugly in this world, and some people find plastic surgery as an effective coping mechanism. I myself have found random things as coping mechanisms. So if plastic surgery gives you something that you enjoy about yourself, then I'm all for it.
I don't think it's necessary. I'm not totally criminalizing these people that get plastic surgery, but I don't think it's necessary. Fun fact that the Americans spent $9 billion in getting plastic surgery in 2020. And that was in the midst of a pandemic that they stopped doing surgeries for 8 weeks. They still made $9 billion. And the top 3 surgeries was work to their face, which I believe is not necessary. Because again, whether you believe you're pretty, you're ugly, you're skinny, you're fat, you're tall, short, that shouldn't matter. Because if you have a beautiful persona, that's what makes you beautiful. You can sit here and spend all these thousands of dollars on getting bigger titties and flat stomach, and when you open your mouth and you meet people and you have a nasty attitude, no matter what you look like on the outside, you're automatically ugly. And that's what people see you as, no matter how much money you spend on your body. So I don't necessarily think plastic surgery is necessary. It's other ways. If you're not happy with how you look, you can go to the gym, but surgery is just too much to the extreme.
To be honest, I'm not against it. I just feel like if you're doing it, it needs to make you feel good about yourself. I don't really agree with the fact that people doing plastic surgery to get somebody or to get a particular type of attention. I mean, if we all have certain body parts that make us uncomfortable, and if you're trying to fix that to enhance or improve your self-esteem, by all means, go for it. Just don't do plastic surgery for the wrong reasons.
Not that I'm against it, it's just not for me. I do believe that plastic surgery is necessary in extreme emergency cases. However, plastic surgery is now a commodity. That's just not something that I'm into personally. It's bullshit.
To each their own. I don't knock it. I think when women get plastic surgery, they look beautiful. They're just enhancing their beauty. For me personally, I wouldn't do it. I never had any plastic surgery. I have a lot of friends who do, but I'm blessed with God gave me. I'm happy with who I am, and I don't need it.
Well, I am an advocate. I fully encourage natural beauty, but at the same time, I encourage self-love and one's right to feel confident and to express themselves. Saying that to say, if someone feels as though plastic surgery or changing their nose or changing something will make them their best self and make them feel the most confident, then I don't think that it's my right to judge.
To be honest, I don't have a problem when a person wants to make themselves look better, but as long as they're going in that direction, I would think that they have to make sure they check out the pros and cons of it. As in everything else, surgeries, there's always risk, and they need to be very careful of what doctor that they're going to see and if that person is really qualified to do what they have to do. The world is changing, yes, everybody wants to look good, and it's a personal choice.
Yes, of course. Inner beauty is something that stays with you for your entire life, whereas somebody's physical appearance can be temporary or changing or not the same. I think inner beauty is the most important.
Absolutely. I feel inner beauty is probably the only type of beauty that matters, that continues.
To me, like, inner beauty, it enhances what is on the outside. You know, how people will feel about you when you're kind, when you're sweet, when you're polite, when you're nice to others, right? People tend to be more open to you and be willing to go the extra distance for you in the event that you're asked for something. They tend to be more accepting and loving when your inner beauty shines through.
Yeah, absolutely. On social media, in person, we've seen a lot of people who are dealing with things that we personally couldn't fathom. When we get to know like someone who's paraplegic or handicapped, but they're just so vibrant from the inside, has nothing to do with their situation. Yes, it's an inner beauty trait. You've got to have it no matter what you're going through, or at least look for it. People really don't care about what you go through. They care about what you do.
I do feel like having inner beauty is very important. I feel like it's not enough just to be a pretty face and a nice smile. I think that who you are on the inside and how you treat people, I think that is most important, and I think that is what really and truly defines if you are truly beautiful.
Yes, it is important, because having that inner beauty to generate outwardly is what makes a person unique in my eyes. You can look nice on the outside, but then attitude is a different thing. How you carry yourself, you might not be in a nice way. But that inward beauty, that you really have that really nice personality and that caring and comfort and that to share things with others and to really help to groom others in a better way, I think is a very important quality to have.
Yeah, so I struggled for quite a few years up to just recently with weight gain, like in the last 3 years. But I overcame that once I realized that you have to embrace yourself, and not only your physical appearance is everything to life. Like, your character is really what makes you beautiful. And when I really realized that, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I believed that my whole life, I did not. I struggled with insecurity just like the regular person, and I embraced that. It like changed my perspective on so many things before I never viewed in the way that I view it now. So yeah, definitely it was weight gain and like trying to get it off, and it was harder to get it off and keep it off. But I embraced it. It don't matter. We are all beautiful, and we have to embrace however God made us.
Yes, I have a very large chest area, and it has been a soap in terms of clothes. I mean, everybody will tell me that's how people going and do surgery to get what you have. Very expensive. The kind of styles I want to wear, you have to be fixing and tucking and pulling and. So this for a while it no longer is, has been a really sore point, a really big insecurity of mine. Now it's like, it could change. It don't get smaller if I lose weight. Yeah, I have to embrace it. So I have learned to accept it for what it is.
I've never struggled with any type of insecurity as a kid, as a teenager. I've always accepted myself for exactly what I am, because everyone that gravitates towards me is gravitating towards my personality. So I've never had any type of insecurity besides the obvious where, you deal with a situation and it kind of puts you in somber mode and things like that. Natural human reactions to certain situations. But in an overall scale, I've never had any type of
Yeah, struggled with being overweight, just being a mom and having children. You gain a lot of weight and you're fluctuating back and forth between your true weight and being overweight and finding that balance. I would say that would be it. It's something that I'm working on consistently.
One of my insecurities was I always criticizing myself because you always feel that you're not good enough in what you're doing, right? So one of the insecurities was into my competition years. I always find that I was not good enough. I wasn't looking the right way. way. So I always train extra hard and try to get the diet right and try to get things in the right way, because you want to go out there looking at your best and you have to stand up against those out there. So when you stand at that stage, you have to be looking at me, not the others. So that's one of the insecurities I have dealt with in my life. And although we still have things that we're dealing with, none of us is perfect, doesn't have the perfect body. So we are still working on things in our lives and our own personal self. And I think it's a continuous thing sometimes. So we just have to put ourselves in a gear where, you know what, let me do the best that I can do, or better than my best, and get the best results that I can get.
No, I don't. I don't think so. I feel like your mindset, your mental state, that affects your success in life. You tell yourself you could do it. There's nothing that's impossible that you can't do. And beauty is not a limitation. I mean, you could be the ugliest person in the world, but if you have a mindset that you're going to be successful and you're going to focus on your goals and you're going to achieve them, that can make you beautiful in itself, because people admire success. You don't have to be the most beautiful person to be successful.
Unfortunately, yes. I think people are quick to judge if someone looks at you without knowing, kind of making impression of you in their head. So I think that beauty or your appearance can affect your success, because somebody can use that to have an impression about you.
No, I don't think it determines your success in life. Beauty is not all there is to a person. You can be what you consider ugly and be very successful in life. You can be beautiful and be a buff. So no, it does not determine if you're successful in life.
At least in the feminine sex, I believe so 100%, because as a woman, beauty is a double-edged sword, meaning that if you are too beautiful, then that's all you're known for, regardless of your qualifications, your intellect, your innovation, any of those things. Your beauty will always overpower anything else that you have to offer. As a woman that is not considered physically attractive, it's also very hard to get people to buy into the things that you are offering. It is definitely harder to get somebody's time if you are not physically attractive. So I feel like, at least to survive in the current world and culture, you have to be just beautiful enough, but not too beautiful to be successful.
So yes, of course, I believe it affects your success in life. The way you look is responsible a lot for the opportunities you get, the people that you will meet in life, the people that will put you on to other important people. Yes, this and sometimes this is responsible for pushing you forward in life, even though people try to deny it. It is very important to point.
In America, yes, now. That's why I previously said that now, like plastic surgery and that type of beauty is a commodity now. However, can it measure one's success? No. Ultimately, what's going on the inside and how you present yourself is going to measure your success. A lot of people do have the privilege of getting what they want because they have external beauty. I just think that internal beauty gets you further.
I do think beauty plays a major part in someone's success. I think when you possess beautiful qualities such as charisma and charm, when you have a positive attitude and mindset, you attract good energy. So if you channel that good energy into your work, into your life, it opens doors to opportunities and makes room for success.
In certain areas, from what I understand, it does. And to be honest, in my view, it should not be. Not because a person is beautiful on the outside and they look good and everything, that means that you're supposed to pass them over somebody else. It is not right. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. And I think that we have to start looking at each other in a different way, start passing judgment because a person looks a certain way compared to another person.
Absolutely not. I think that attractiveness is defined as different things in different cultures. And personally, I think that that's a great thing. And it is truly a testament to the fact that attractiveness or beauty is something that is subjective.
No, they don't. I've experienced being in Japan and having people nearly fall at my feet only because my skin was darker. And it had nothing to do with my hair, it had nothing to do with my butt, my breath, anything. It was just the fact that I had a certain tone in my skin and just stopping taking pictures of me. That's not what it is in America at all. So, yeah, it's different versions in different countries.
I don't think everyone will see attractiveness the same way as the people in my country. I mean, each country has their own cultures, their own background, their own cultural templates, and because of that, people view things differently. They have different perspectives. So I don't believe someone from another country perspective on attractive or someone being attractive or what makes someone attractive will be the same as someone in my country.
Let me not say American overall, but Black American beauty standard. It defines a lot in my country. The big breasts, the big booty, the small waist, the pear-shaped look. I do believe that Black American culture is very influential in my Trinidadian culture, yes.
My culture is so full of soul. That's the beauty of my culture. That's not an American standard. American standard is all false and fake and unrealistic and a bunch of Build-A-Bears everywhere. So yeah, that's not what my culture is full of soul, something that you can't buy.
In some areas, yes, and some areas, no. Because there's a mixture of everybody views where that is concerned. As I said before, because you're American, you're more beautiful than a Trinidadian or a Jamaican or whatever case may be. Everybody is beautiful in their own way, and it should not be judged by which country you're from.
No, it doesn't define the beauty there. I mean, they have their own version of beauty. I mean, they love their appearance, they love their hair. Yemeni women, they have like longer, beautiful hair. And there is some aspects that they like from the American culture, but no, they have their own preference of beauty, which I don't think is the same like the American culture.
Yes, I definitely think the American idea of beauty defines beauty in my culture, especially when it comes to associating beauty with lighter skin color. Like, for example, during a wedding, they try really hard to wear makeup that is super light. There's this thing called a haldi, which is right before the wedding. The bride gets turmeric, like put all of her face and her hands and her body to apparently lighten her skin. So yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, and regrettably so, because I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago. We always look on the TV screen and see the stars and think that somehow our culture and what we have to offer is inferior to what we see on the screen. Because of that, a lot of people try to emulate what they see on the screen when your culture should define what's beauty versus what you see in other cultures.
Yes, I do believe they have changed because throughout the years, if you can think back, before the ideal of perfect American body, you had to be a toothpick. Let's just be honest. You'd have to be very, very thin to win. Let's be honest. And now the idea of American beauty is you have to walk around looking like BBW doll. You have to have big butt, big titties, long hair, a nice jawline, and it's like you have to be thick in America now instead of skinny how it was years ago. So yes, it has changed. And people in all these different countries get caught up with trying to meet these standards of what people believe is beauty. They develop all types of things as far as like eating disorders, depression, anxiety, all trying to meet a beauty standard, which your physical beauty is not what matters. I'm a strong believer that beauty is skin deep. How you treat people, it's what's going to make you successful or not. It's what's going to make you pretty or not.
To be honest, Trinidadians have a way that something foreign always better, right? No, not everybody is the same, eh? There are some of them think that beauty is nicer from a different country instead of their own, which I find is really sad because we have some beautiful women in this country. You're all beautiful in our own way.
In terms of like how you look, I think there's like stereotypes about how people who look beautiful or pretty are usually not intelligent. So I think there are drawbacks in terms of just stereotypes that are given to people who are like beautiful or too pretty almost.
One of the major disadvantages is people think that is all you have to offer. They don't really think that anything is going on up inside here when this is extremely gorgeous or representative of what everybody likes. They tend to dismiss the educational or intellectual value that you could bring to the table.
The only drawback is if you're around some hating ass people. Honestly, that's the only thing that I could think of. Like, what's your problem? Like, everybody wants beauty. I mean, yeah, that's the only drawback. Not in a general sense, but yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of.
One of the things that I can speak about from my experience is people judging you based off your appearance. And what I've struggled with is people associating your features to specific qualities. Like in my community, they associate being light-skinned with being unfaithful. Or when you're a certain size, they associate that with being sexually active. So sometimes it feels as though you're constantly having to dispel people's perception of you. And that energy could be used to do something positive or in a positive way. And instead you're using it to fix how people perceive you. And that can sometimes lead you to be feeling insecure in what you wear and how you speak. So I believe that is one of the negatives that comes with being beautiful or being an individual on the whole.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I had to cut it. Because we would be going over time. But dang. When I tell you I love that video, I love that video. I really love that video. I really do, because it just shows how people see things differently and we could still coexist. But it also shows that you can identify what beauty is for you any which way that you want to, as long as you're not harming nobody, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not disturbing the peace, or you're not using your beauty to take advantage of people. You could identify what beauty is for you. One question I do want you guys to go away with tonight is, do you believe you're beautiful, and why? That was the question I had to ask myself. And I know it sounds like just a basic question. It's just like, oh, the first thing you might say is, oh, hell yeah, I am beautiful. Can't tell me nothing. But dig deep. Are you beautiful on that level where you know what you want to identify it as, not just the physical appearance or not what just somebody tell you, but for yourself? Take that time with yourself and ask yourself, do you really, like, really and truly, and listen to the word that I use, believe? Do you really truly believe that you are beautiful? And why do you believe that? Those were the same questions that I had to ask myself. My goal is just so that, sorry, accepting your whole self as, yeah, your whole self. Yeah, and I like that, Michelle. I am beautiful because I love who I am. Exactly. That's that's when you know, like, you're putting real work with yourself, like you did real healing with yourself, and you're like, you just reached to that point where you just like, yeah, I am just in love with who I am. That's when you know you can stay in your own company as well. Yep. But that question definitely was the first question that helped me change my perspective on beauty, and even helping me accept my definition of beauty, and giving it to everybody. Look, I just try listen, let me tell you guys something. I just coming off track for a little bit. Every episode, I just try my best to not be so like smiling all the time and giggling all the time, but I can't help myself. It's how I feel. It's really how I feel. That's just me. That's just me. And I want everybody to have that little everybody to have that feeling, like, you could literally, no matter what space you're in, no matter what environment you're in, you could just be you because you know you're beautiful. Like you accept literally everything about yourself, and you know, no matter where you go, you will always show up as your authentic, beautiful self. Yeah, I know, I just always bubbly on the inside. I like to talk shippiness too and laugh, but you know, that's I just really try every episode to not be giggly like this. Thing could be serious and you know, I would still find light in the situation. But that's just part of what beauty is for me. Beauty for me is to always have a good smile or to, you know, share that with other people, share that experience with other people. So like I said, the goal tonight is to find what that is for you. And please, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to express that to the fullest. I want people to experience you as your whole authentic self. And I cannot say that word. I can't say that word. So there's only so much I could say it. Your whole authentic self. Let people experience you. Do not limit yourself by what other people have to say. There are some people, I know, there are some people who will be like, oh gosh, I can't. Why she just carry on? So she feels she's something, or oh, I can't even stand your face. That's not your business. Your business is how you feel about yourself, and you just express that, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, my time is up. My time is up. It was a pleasure having you guys tonight with me. I hope you had your notebooks, or even if you don't, try this weekend until next podcast and just do the work. Try for the, even after this podcast, after, you know, just try to do the work and really, really love yourself. I just want everybody to kind of like feel how I just feel. Love for yourself. We'll just read some comments and then I'll be off. Miss Shirley said, I don't need acceptance or validation. Yep. To know that I'm exactly, exactly. Own it, own it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful night. Well, it's morning for me. So have a beautiful night. Remember to accept yourself as is and represent and show what beauty means for you. I would love to experience that from everybody. So have a good night, guys. See you all next Thursday. Bye.